In recent months, immigration enforcement activity has been steadily increasing across parts of the United States. Now, newly released figures show that Houston has become one of the most active regions for federal arrests this year. According to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, over 200 individuals were taken into custody in the Houston area over the past 6 months as part of a targeted enforcement initiative. ICE reports that those arrested were living in the country unlawfully and had prior criminal histories or outstanding removal orders. Officials say this operation resulted in more arrests than during the entire 2024 fiscal year in that region. In this report, we'll break down the numbers, highlight how this operation was carried out, and explain how it fits into ICE's broader national strategy in 2025. For ongoing updates on immigration enforcement and policy shifts, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's get started. Between February and July 2025, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducted a targeted enforcement initiative in the Houston area. Over this 6-month period, officers arrested 214 non-citizens with prior criminal convictions or pending charges, most involving offenses classified by ICE as serious public safety concerns. According to the agency, this number exceeds the total arrests made by the Houston field office during the entire 2024 fiscal year, when 201 individuals were taken into custody under similar circumstances. Officials have described this increase as a significant operational milestone, tied directly to evolving enforcement priorities under the current administration. These arrests were not routine. ICE confirmed that each individual had been identified through specialized screening protocols and joint agency coordination, with many already subject to final orders of removal issued by federal immigration courts. The rise in enforcement activity follows the rollout of a multi-agency strategy designed to prioritize individuals deemed high risk due to their criminal history or immigration status violations. As part of this broader approach, ICE established dedicated targeting teams in all major field offices, including Southeast Texas, to carry out daily operations. In the Houston area, these joint teams actively work to locate individuals flagged as public safety threats. ICE has emphasized that these efforts are not undertaken alone. Federal partners including the FBI, DEA, CBP, ATF, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the Diplomatic Security Service have provided key personnel and resources to support arrests and investigations. State and local law enforcement agencies have also played a major role, assisting with surveillance, transportation, and field operations to ensure arrests are conducted lawfully and efficiently. ICE also released examples of individuals taken into custody during the Houston Area Enforcement Initiative. One case involved a 67-year-old Mexican national who had previously been deported 3 times. He was arrested in late March and had prior felony convictions under Texas law. ICE reports he was removed to Mexico on April 4th. Another individual, a 48-year-old citizen of Mexico, was arrested on March 21st. He had multiple prior convictions on record. According to ICE, he was deported just a few days later. In a third case, a 37-year-old Salvadoran national was taken into custody in mid-July. He had previously been deported twice and had additional convictions and re-entry violations. As of now, he remains in ICE custody pending further proceedings. ICE officials stated that these cases reflect the agency's continued focus on individuals with prior criminal records and repeat immigration violations. Although the recent ICE operation in Houston was carried out by federal agents, local Democratic leaders have continued to express concern over the broader implications of such enforcement actions. Earlier this year, Houston Mayor John Whitmire publicly stated that the city's police department would not be directly involved in federal immigration raids. He emphasized that Houston police would focus on violent crime, regardless of immigration status, in an effort to maintain trust within immigrant communities. Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, who represents parts of Houston, has also voiced concern about the impact of increased enforcement, especially in cases involving families or individuals without recent convictions. In past months, she organized community outreach events and legal aid clinics to help residents understand their rights. These ongoing positions, while not in direct conflict with ICE's federal operations, reflect a growing divide between local and federal approaches to immigration enforcement in Southeast Texas. The public response in Houston has been divided. Some residents and community advocates have expressed concern, especially in neighborhoods with large immigrant populations. Local immigration rights groups have held informational events and shared legal resources, warning that large-scale enforcement, even if targeted, may create fear among law-abiding families and discourage victims from reporting crimes. Earlier this summer, small peaceful demonstrations took place in parts of the city, where protesters called for more oversight of federal immigration actions and protections for mixed-status households. At the same time, others in the community have voiced strong support for the renewed focus on immigration enforcement. In interviews with local media, some Houston residents said they welcomed efforts to remove repeat offenders or individuals with prior convictions, viewing it as a step toward restoring law and order. On social media, a number of Texans praised ICE's increased visibility, especially in areas where concerns about public safety have grown in recent years. While the arrests in Houston made headlines, federal officials confirmed that this isn't just a local effort. According to ICE, similar operations are being carried out across multiple states, including California, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and parts of the Midwest. These actions are being led by specialized targeting teams working under the direction of the Department of Homeland Security. So, what's driving this surge in enforcement? This stepped-up action reflects the immigration priorities of the current Trump administration, which has placed a renewed focus on interior enforcement and public safety-based removals. Since returning to office, President Trump has directed federal immigration agencies to intensify removal efforts, particularly for non-citizens with prior criminal convictions or final deportation orders. Key elements of this strategy include daily enforcement operations led by ICE's specialized field teams, coordination between federal, state, and local law enforcement, and a mandate to prioritize high-risk individuals for removal. Officials say this approach builds on enforcement models used during Trump's first term, but now with expanded interagency coordination and faster execution timelines. ICE leadership has described the goal as a long-term, national campaign to restore immigration law enforcement as a central part of domestic security policy. They've also signaled that this level of activity will likely continue and possibly expand in the months ahead. This is not just about Houston. According to federal sources, this is just one part of a nationwide effort now fully underway. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on immigration, enforcement actions, and U.S. policy changes. Thanks for watching.